Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome to this year's edition of the Malone Record Service Haun and Sauce Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the West Green baseball and softball teams. As always, I'm joined here with baseball head coach Adrian Salzman and softball head coach Clinton Haun. Fellas, how we doing?
Good to have you back.
Sure, boys. It's Friday.
That's true. It's not only Friday.
It's Good Friday.
It's Good Friday.
Yeah, we did that last year, too.
I think so.
It's a great day.
I think we started a week late this year. I think we started one before Good Friday last year, but it's good to finally start these off. It's good to be back. We're in the cafeteria, which I understand these are significant seats for you guys. Is that right?
Some might say that, yeah. You're sitting in my seat.
Yeah, we kind of had to switch it around just a little bit for production's sake.
Yeah.
What lunch do you all have?
I got all day.
You got all day lunch?
I have all of them.
Scheduled for first lunch.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm in here for a little over about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Not every day I'm in here. Some days I eat on the road, but
Must be nice.
a lot of times I'm in here.
Are you do you control the lunchroom?
I just oversee it.
You just oversee it.
It's more like control chaos.
Gotcha. You're not really the guy in control. You just kind of oversee operations.
I just make sure they don't get rowdy.
I got you.
Can we pop in some kid noise, background noise here, to make it?
If you need to, Darren, you can lean back and tell one to quiet down.
We could have been like the COVID, during the games when they had the cardboard cutouts for people in there. Yeah. If we'd planned, we could have done that.
We can CGI kids going behind us through the lunch line.
There you go.
Pump in some fake kid noise.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some baseball and softball a little bit. I'm going to start with you first because you've got a whole lot more to talk about than he does. I think you've got about a third of your season that we've got to go through so far.
We played our 11th game last night on his opening day. So.
That's true. That's weird to say.
I've had to move everything back because of conflicts of scheduling and all that stuff.
You've had how many games scheduled so far, though? Has it been 3?
3. 1, we had to move back because of weather. That wasn't my doing. And then we had to move 2 back because of a school trip.
There you go.
But you finally got to play?
Finally got to play.
Finally got on the field last night. If you want to start, since you've got so much to go through, you can, but you've got less to go through. So whoever wants to take the floor, because I'm going to leave this part up to you guys. I'm just going to be like you when you're in here in the cafeteria. I'm just going to control things.
Go ahead, on.
Ladies first.
Okay. You see anyone around here? Where do you want me to start at? All the way back to the beginning?
You can go back to the beginning. You don't have to really touch on every game. You just kind of take me through your season so far up to this point. I know you've had 11. I've got it right here if you just want to go right
11. So.
I mean, it's a lot to go through. I know first you started off with Elizabethton, and that's a great quality win to start your season off with. Not only that, but the amount of runs that you were able to put on the Cyclones, too, getting 17 on Betsy. How good of an opening night was that for the Buffs?
It was good. They were missing a handful of guys from that deal with Unicoi last year. A couple guys were suspended or whatever. Still a good team that we beat. And the way we beat them, too, 17-7. If I remember right, I think we scored 7 or 8 in the bottom of the 5th there to walk it off. And run roll over Betsy, regardless of the circumstances, is a really good way to start the season. We go to Unicoi that Monday, and not good. They had their ace on the mound, and they hit everything we threw. We could have thrown a ping pong ball up there, and they would have hit it 350. I mean, it was just
one of those days.
It was one of those days. Honestly, you're gonna think I'm crazy. We didn't play all that bad. They just played out of their minds that day. It was their opening day. It was their first day back with all their starters.
Okay.
So I think they were ready to kind of prove something a little bit. We've got them again coming up this week, and I think it'll be a much better game. So, got North Green on spring break there. That was a wild game. If I remember right, I think every half inning somebody scored. We ended up winning 13-10. I think that's the game that Braden had 6 RBIs. I think that's right. Always good to beat the Huskies there. Coach Lowe, my buddy.
Coach Lowe told me that game's being investigated by the TWSAA. He's telling me that you've been juicing a little bit.
Oh,
And that it's kind of rubbed off on the players, and they were juicing a little bit too, and they were just hitting the baseball everywhere. So he said that game's under investigation. He expects it to be overturned. So, what are your thoughts on that?
it's the first I'm hearing of it.
All right, I'm glad I can relay the news to
Well,
you.
when do these air? Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
He did tell me earlier in the week, whenever y'all did your show, to make sure and watch his, which I always do anyways. It's always good entertainment. He's a man of the people.
I think it'll work out perfect because this one, his will come out right before yours. So
Okay.
you'll
yeah.
hear about
Yeah.
the pending investigations right before you figure out about the impending
You know, it's funny
investigations.
too. We always play usually the first week of the season.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever noticed, that game is always here. Why do you think that is, Tyler?
You tell me.
You know where he lives? About 30 feet away from here. Wily old veteran. He knows if he can go play here and have a 2-second drive instead of having to drive all the way out to North Green, get the field ready and stuff. Next year, I'm going to move it around on him. Next year, we're going to go out there.
All right.
Make him work.
So if I look at the schedule next year and I see the first game's at North Green, don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised. Yeah, there'll be some kind of scheduling conflict here. We won't be able to play it here. We'll have to go out there.
We'll have a trampoline breaking contest.
No, it was he had, I don't remember how many guys. He had a few guys out too. They're a tough team. You saw last night with their Chucky Doak game, and they're going to beat a lot of people this year. Going to be a good team. The Robbins kid, he had a
He
huge
had a heck of a
day
game
out here
whenever
that
he was
day.
here.
His first 2 at bats, I think he had drove in 5 or 6 runs.
Double and a triple, or was it a
A
triple
home run
home
and a
run?
triple.
Yeah.
I think it was a
Yes.
2-run home run and a 3-run triple. The bases were loaded. After that, I was like, holy crap, I don't even want to pitch this guy anymore. Actually, his last at bat, I think we did walk him.
Really intentionally.
We got down 2-0. I told John to just keep it way outside, and we got down 2-0. I was just like, let's just go ahead and walk him. I ain't going to take a chance on him. Good player, though. We have Volunteer on spring break. Doubleheader with them, 2 5s. Beat them 13-10, really back and forth game the whole way. And in the second game, we saw their ace. Lefty, good pitcher. He's about 80, 82. Good little curve, good changeup. And we went toe-to-toe with him. 5 innings. After 5, it was 0-0. So then we go in that 6th inning. Judd's pitching that game. Threw a great game. Defense playing great behind him. It's just hard to get anything going against a guy like that. I mean, he was throwing it well, too. The 6th inning there, a couple things happened. I think they ended up scoring 5. And then the bottom half, we just didn't get anything going. But played well. Just that last inning right there, kind of, whatever. We go out to South Green, beat them 4-0. Good pitchers matchup. Crum versus Braden.
I was fortunate enough to be at that one.
Yeah, that was a really good game.
I think one thing we talked about after was how clean of a game Braden pitched. Not only did he only allow, I think, 5 hits all night, but one walk.
Sure, and he did the same thing against Chucky Doak too this week. Really good pitch, and Crum threw a good game too. He's a good pitcher. I feel like he's been there 20 years. Ton of experience, man, and it showed. I mean, he threw a really good game. We were fortunate to scratch off a couple of runs right there. The next day, they come here and they hit the ball well, and we did not field the ball well at all. Their guy threw a pretty good game, Raider. Get beat 12-4. Not at all what we wanted to happen, obviously, but it is what it is. Got to come back and play. So we go to Unaka that Friday, 20-4. That was a good team win. Got a lot of guys in. Some of our young guys got to get them some action. That was good. Then we come back. We got the 2 games with Chucky Doak this week. It was Monday, Wednesday. We lost 2-1 and 3-2. Really clean baseball games. I talked with Jacob about this and yesterday. I don't know that either one of us had anything to complain about.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the results would have been flipped and we would have won 2-1 and 3-2, neither of us had anything to complain about. The pitch and defense was great.
Maybe the weather. Maybe the weather.
Monday night they had the 2 home runs here. Pretty strong wind. I mean, I think one of them probably don't go. One of them does. One of them probably don't. It is what it is. You know? I mean, we were hitting in the same weather, same wind. So, I mean, I don't know. It's tough to lose like that, knowing that 2 pitches beat you. In a game.
2 swings of the bat were all it took.
And we couldn't get much going against Derry. He threw a great game. He's another guy that we've seen a ton over the last 2 or 3 years. Probably the best we've seen him. Still went well that game. Then we go out there on that Wednesday, 2 days ago. And Braden threw a great game Monday here.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
And Mason threw a great game up there Wednesday. Both of them complete game under 80 pitches. I think we had 6 and 7 strikeouts, 1 walk both days. I think 2 combined errors in the 2 games. You can't ask for any more than that. And it saved our pitching for last night for Granger, which was huge because we needed every bit of it. You know, that game we go down 5-0 and 7-2. Down 7-2 in the 5th, and really there's a spot in the 5th there where things are about to get busted open and they might run rule us. Settle down, find a way out of it, and just keep battling. And we took our first lead of the game in the 8th inning. Went up 12-10. They got 1 more in the bottom, and then we ended up holding them off 12-11. So we started out 6-5, and with the schedule that we've played, feel really good about 6-5 because it very easily could be, a 3-8, a 4-7, something like that. I mean, we've seen some really good teams. We've seen a lot of really good pitching, and I think that is really going to help us as we progress through the back half of the season going into tournament play.
I know it's fresh on my mind watching that North Green and Chucky Doak game last night, but whenever you were able to climb out of such a deep hole against Granger, how was your 2-out hitting in that game? Because a lot of times when you're down by that many runs, you don't get a lot of them just with no outs or 1 out. How was your 2-out hitting?
Had several clutch hits last night. Our 7, 8, 9 spot in the last week struggled quite a bit, and we talked about that Wednesday, that we got to get production out of them, even if it's just grinding out at bat, a 5, 6, 7 pitch at bat. That's helping, And last night, holy cow, I think, combined hit-wise, I think maybe 3 hits out of the 7, 8, 9, 0, but productive at-bats all throughout the game from those guys. Aiden Willett in the 7-0 is a freshman. He might have 10 at-bats on the year right now. He comes up in the 8th inning, bases loaded, gets down 2 strikes, and hits a seed over the shortstop to get a run in. That was huge. That was big for him, confidence-wise. Kevin Green in the last 2 games, he's had 2 or 3 big hits for us out of the 8-hole. And then Brandon Hunter in the 9-hole, he's hit it well too. He's getting the bat on the ball. Adjusting, he's a sophomore, but he didn't play last year. So he's adjusting to the high school game. And early on, he's a lot of strikeouts for him, just trying to get adjusted. It's a big difference. And I think he's starting to get that figured out now. If we get that 7, 8, 9 rolling, we're a tough team. And we're a tough team anyways, but really tough if we got those guys rolling.
6-5 right now, and I think 1-3 in conference right now. You've suffered 3 losses so far, but if you look at the quality of teams you played Chucky Doak and South Green, who I think were the 2 and the 4 last year. So you got Johnson County, Happy Valley, and then Hampton, who's coming into the conference now, still left on your schedule. So would you say so far you played 2 of the tougher teams that you'll play so far within the conference season?
I think so, based off obviously what we saw, and then based off what I've saw and heard, and I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that we had to play them back to back early. Maybe if we're playing them at a different time, maybe the results were different. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Those 2 games with Chucky Doak, they could go either way. The one South Green game that we lost there, at a different time in the season, maybe you play different. I don't know. But we just got beat. We were not the better team that day. Those 2 with Chucky Doak, I I'm not going to say that they were the better team or we were the better team. We just got beat that day.
Mm-hmm.
You play that game again on another day, who knows what happens.
You see your record's 1-3 at the moment, but all is not lost yet because
No.
you've still got 6 conference games left in the season. Both teams still have a long road ahead of them too, and like I mentioned, I think we're only 1/3 through the season so far, somewhere around that. And it's a long time until May. You might look at it today and it's March 29th, but that's a long time until May because you've got a lot of games left on the schedule.
Be better in May than you are today.
That's a good way to think about it.
That's the key. So
Wise words of Adrian Salzman.
that come from David Hamilton. He was the old coach at Cumberland Gap. He helped me out quite a bit when I was early on in my coaching career there.
Cumberland
Still
Gap.
talk to that guy. Yeah, really like him. Good guy.
You've got a story with Cumberland Gap, don't you?
That was his last game.
Oh, wow.
Put him out that way. He retired. He was retiring going into it. We knew it. Hated that that happened to him
Mm-hmm.
and to do it that way. But yeah, love that guy. He's helped me out a lot over the years.
You take the floor now. I know you've not had as many games to talk about, but you had Greenville last night. Kicked off the season, kind of a little bit of a late start, but take me through the game last night. Take me through your team also. Talk about positions, pitchers, and what you expect out of the team this year.
Well, we'll go last night. Mo pitched. It's nice to have her back. She threw, I think it was 96 pitches and 67 strikes,
It's a good ratio.
which to basically take a year and a half off because of injury, and that be your first live action, really not too bad. I mean, she didn't look bad on the mound. Also got Alyssa Lawson who can pitch. And then I can throw Cutshaw in there some. Got a couple of ones we're still working on. But first inning last night, we had an uncharacteristical error in center that he was able to capitalize on the first inning. Come in, was down 1-0. And then we came in with 3 up, 3 down. But I will say the stuff that I've tried to get across to them, extending at bats. Aubrey Everett lead off. She's sophomore. Went down 0-2 and then saw 7 pitches. I mean, that's a good at bat. She didn't get on. But at least we're learning to extend those. I mean, you extend a bat, sometimes pitcher gets frustrated because it just takes that one pitch after you battle back and they throw a bad pitch, or they throw a meatball and you hit it. It just takes that one pitch. And then Alyssa kind of struggled last night at the plate. She didn't get very solid contact on it. Then you had Mo come in, 3-hole, like I said, basically by having a year and a half off of not swinging or anything like that. Put the ball in play. Then we went out to the second inning, and Greenville put up 8. But, I mean, they just hit the ball. They hit the ball well. I mean, they hit the ball well the whole night. I hate when I go blank. Just draw a blank.
It's one of my favorite Haun quotes. I'm trying to think. I think it's one
We've
of
got
my
so
favorites.
many games. It's
hard to
all
remember.
running together at this point.
But then we come back in the second inning. Arnold leads it off, hits a shot up the middle. Cutshaw comes up and she hits one. I'm talking, that ball's 2 inches higher. It's over second baseman's head, and she just timed it right and caught it. And when Arnold saw it off the bat, she was thinking it's in the gap, so she took off, and she got doubled off at first. Then Owens came up. She's a freshman. Strong kid. I mean, when we was in the weight room, she was dumbbell benching 45s. We got some football players can't do that. And, yeah, it's a shot to you, Monroe. Get them stronger. No, she came in, chased a couple pitches out of the zone that was high. We talked about it. And then she came up her next at bat, which was in the 5th. There ain't much talk about the other couple innings. But Cutshaw came up in the 5th, hit a hit a shot to right field and had to lead a triple. And then Owens come up, and she took everything what I told her that previous at bat, and told her, I said, you gotta wait, don't let it get there. And she hit a shot to right field for a double and scored. Kind of got things growing, but then we ended up getting stranded first and third in that fifth inning. They beat us 12-1. But a lot of last year I talked about giving up free bases, stuff like that. Last night we had 2 walks and 1 hit batter. We still have 5 errors, which we got to cut that out. We look better on the long haul of the pitcher. If you look from last year to this year, we look better. I think they had 1 extra base hit that was fielded in the outfield, like they didn't hit a gap or anything like that. And it was just one. It was kind of one of them bloopers that hit in right field and kind of rolled foul after it hit. And the girl was smart base running. She got to second. But defensively, we done better getting the ball in. Pitching, we done better. All around, for us to be our first game, I was pleased with how we played. Now we got to cut the errors and stuff like that out. We do that, I think we'll be all right.
Be better in May than you are today, is that what it was? Had a loss last night, but you also doubled and had a win once you got back home and got to sit in front of the TV.
And what did I text you? Life is good in Tuscaloosa.
I don't know if it is or not. We're a long ways from there.
Hey, lead 8, baseball team's ranked, softball team's ranked. I'm a happy Bama fan right now.
Malone's record, Haun and Shaw show. We don't care about Bama.
Hey, for a note, Bama did take 2 or 3 for Tennessee during baseball.
That was true.
We cut that out.
That
No,
was
we
true.
can't cut that out. He's a UT fan, just not the.
Hey, how'd my girl Madison Carper? How'd she play last night?
She played pretty good. We did get her to pop up there in the 5th.
Yeah, I like her. She's my cousin. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I aggravated Wendy before the game. I told her I was going to get her thrown out.
Yeah. And Ethan plays for us. Yeah. Bug him every now and then that she's the better of the two.
Is she?
And I don't know that it's too far of a stretch.
I mean,
she can play. He
No,
can too. He's
No, she does have 2 years more of experience on him.
You're right. I'd take her in a heartbeat. I know that.
Yeah.
I think it's all we got on the recap, though. Don't have much else to talk about. We'll go ahead and preview what's on the Buffs and the Lady Buffs schedule right after this break, though. So we'll be right back in just a minute here on Grassroots Media.
Pizza Inn's new Right Way Buffet is open and ready for you and your family. Now with new garlic buttery crust and stuffed crust pizza, along with salads and desserts. It's the best part of your day. The all-day, everyday buffet. Only at Pizza Inn Greenville.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Malone Record Service Haun and Sauce Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the West Green baseball and softball teams. As always, I'm joined here with baseball head coach Adrian Saltzman and softball head coach Clinton Haun. Malone's record again.
Might call me softball, or
I think I just.
I messed that up.
Softball?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sauce small?
I don't know. Malone's record, you said?
Back-to-back years.
2 years in a row. Appreciate that, Hop. If you do get into a wreck, call my good buddy at Malone's Record Service, Michael Hobson. Hopefully you don't wreck here, though, at West Green, because I don't know if he remembers where it's at anymore. He ain't been here in a long time. But he does a good job, though. He's a good guy. Call him. I forgot about that part.
We ain't doing too many. It's two. Nope. You're getting 2, and that's it right now. We'll get more as the season progresses, but starting way too early.
Hey, you got plenty of time to put them in today.
Yeah.
It ain't like you got to rush.
That's true. But we can't do
Yeah.
too many at the beginning, because then you've got to up what you did the first week, and then I'm gonna sit here for an hour just keying things in, making them big, small.
Yeah.
You'd think I'd have that number memorized by now.
Hey, do we have an email for him? We can pop that up there too.
I can find one.
If you send it to me within the next hour, I'll try to get it in.
Okay.
I'll have to look up that phone number again. After a few weeks, you you remember the phone number? I don't think. No. I don't know.
I barely remember my phone number.
It's popped up so many times on here, who knows?
It went for the phone book on
Hopefully
the
somebody
phone. I
has
forget
that.
I wonder if
numbers.
they ever actually get any calls from that.
I don't know. I wonder if they've actually got any business.
from
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Sad thing to think about, though. You don't want them to gain any business because you don't want anybody to get in an accident. But
That's true. But
car ever
accidents
breaks
happen
down.
a lot. Lockouts. If you get locked out, call Malone's. He's come down here several times and unlocked a car for a kid. You know, kid will lock their keys in their car and they'll freak out and they'll say something to me about it being the driver's ed teacher, I guess. So yeah, I know a guy.
We still never did a show on the driver's ed car.
We can.
don't know if
Actually,
that's
today
safe.
would have been a good day for
It'll be
it.
a tight fit.
Could have.
Been back there before.
Yeah.
He sat in the middle with two kids on the sides of him one time.
Who's driving?
The
It
kid.
was a kid. I don't remember.
I guess I'd drive. Because I don't
Oh,
know.
in the
If,
driver's ed car.
Yeah.
When we're doing a show. Yeah.
I don't know if you would want to drive while you're doing the interview.
Nah, it wouldn't
You
be
got to pay
safe to
attention to the
say.
road.
Yeah.
I don't have. I have the least amount of work.
Well,
so-
I
so-
should sit in the. Here's your lunch. I should sit in the passenger seat because that's my normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be perfect.
Yeah, and I just
I
tap
like
the brake
your
on
bell.
every now and
Your
then.
bell is really short. Some of these schools, like North Green's, like a
Yeah.
3
I
second
did my
long
student
bell.
teaching at North Green, so I know what you're talking about.
It's a long bell. It's so long that we have to pause and have to cut those out. That's just a little. boop. If you go watch some of those TMB shows where we're doing them during the school day,
Yeah.
there are parts that are cut out because that bell is so long.
Nice.
Something else I was going to mention too, but I can't remember. Slipped my mind at the moment. But you got some baseball going on this week.
You're just trying to think.
I'm just trying to think.
Like, a little help.
You got a 2-game series with Happy Valley
Yeah.
here on Monday, going there on Tuesday, and then you
Maybe.
host Unicoi, like you said,
to rain.
on Thursday for the second game of that season series with the home and away. Talk about what you expect coming up this week and how you think you'll play.
Yeah, I mean, you expect to go compete, especially the way we've opened up the season here. Something we talk about a lot. You go up several runs, you go down several runs. It don't matter. Just keep playing. I think these boys have kind of figured that out, especially after a game like last night. You go down 5-0 and 7-2 and didn't play well, and find a way to come back and win against a good team too. I mean, they're probably going to finish second in their district in AAA, I think. So, yeah, just no matter what the situation is, just go compete. And pitching. If we can continue to get the same pitching we've got recently, that feel really good about that. Feel good about our staff as a whole. Braden, Mason, Judd, Connor, Carp. We threw a little freshman in there last night. He threw about 11 or 12 pitches, but he got 2 or 3 outs for us. He ain't throwing about 50 miles an hour. That thing's like a gravity ball just coming in there. But it's one of those things where it's so slow it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
And you just be who you are. You don't have to try to be somebody. You don't try to pump it in there because
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to work anyways. All you're going to do is throw balls, right? If you just be who you are and everything with the whole staff, we got to be like that and come out, pitch well, play good defense, and do what we do at the plate and be aggressive on the bases. Feel good about it.
You got 3 games? You got 3 games. I know on Monday you stay put here at home. You've got Unaka, and the rest of the week you'll go on the road for conference games. On Tuesday you drive up to Happy Valley, and then you drive over to Chucky Doak in Lower Afton. Talk to me about those 3 games and preview what's on the schedule for you all.
Well, it'd be nice to we could somehow get all 3 of them this week, especially Tuesday and Thursday, those being conference games. It'd be nice to have more wins in 1 week than I think we've had in 3 seasons. I mean, that would be, I think, great momentum boost, confidence boost. It's like Coach is talking about competing. That's one thing I've tried to get the girls to. You got to compete every pitch. You got to be a competitor. Go out there and compete. So I told them last night we came in, was down 12-0. I said, go compete. We ended up scratching a run across. I mean, in a different game, like I told them after the game, I said, there's going to be a time during the season we may be tied coming in the seventh, be the home team. I said, we got to scratch that run across. I said, that could be the difference in the ball game. We think Unaka's they're 5-5. Happy Valley's 1-7. Chuckie right now is 1-3. By looking at max preps, I mean, I think we just gotta go play. If we go play, cut out the errors, I think we'll be all right.
I'm going to ask this question. It's kind of a little side topic. You all let me know and give me some insight as coaches. What's better for baseball to keep track of things? Max preps, Coach T, or Game Changer?
On the coaching side of things, or
To keep up with records and such as that.
for you?
Yeah, like what to keep up with records and scores, what would be the best? I follow Game Changer the closest.
Game Changer is the easiest thing, but sometimes you don't have access to everything. Some people probably do a better job than others of keeping some of that hidden from outside people. Coach T and Max Preps, it depends on the school. Some schools get reported to one site better than the other. When I'm doing some kind of prep work for it, I'll do all three of those, and newspaper articles. Some people still do newspapers. Not everybody has a grassroots.
That's correct.
Everybody has a grassroots. But if it's outside of Greene County, a lot of people still do the newspaper route. Just various different ways to dig around a little bit and find some stuff on the coaching side of things.
So it just kind of varies.
And honestly, a lot of it still comes down to just what coaches have done for years and just calling each other up. Hey, what they look like. So.
I know for basketball the best one to do is Coach T a lot of times. So I didn't know if baseball,
I mean, you
if there
get your
was a
final
one
scores
central.
that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you can find most of it on Coach T. There's a handful of schools that I don't know what the situation is, but it gets reported to Max Preps before it'll get to Coach T, and there's a disconnect there sometimes. I don't know.
I think one Game Changer, you can have it connected to Max Preps. Because
Okay.
it'll put your stats up right then after the game.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a cool little connection. Another question I had, I asked Coach Lowe this week. We had this discussion on Saturday morning. Mark and I were talking about North Green's week, where they have a walk-off last week, and they also have a run rule victory. As a fan, I like the walk-off. It's more exciting. As a coach, what do you like more? Do you like the walk-off, or do you like the run rule victory the most?
I like the win.
The win? That's the best answer I've had so far. I've had honest answers that tell me run rule, but that's the best one, just a win in general.
Yeah, I don't care. I just win. Yeah. I mean, run rules. It's nice to have those, especially if you have an opportunity to get people in that are not typically in, because you get a chance to see those guys play and what they can do. I'll give you an example. The Unaka game last week. Yeah, it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
Win 20-4. Top of the third, we started cycling in. There's about 3 or 4 guys come in there, and 3 of them are freshmen, 1 of them's a sophomore. And it's guys that are on varsity that just haven't had an opportunity to play much yet. You put them in situations like that and let them play it out. And, we ended up giving up 4 runs, probably a little bit because of that. And I think we only scored maybe 2 or 3. No, I think it was like 15-0 when we started doing that. So, we win 5-4 the rest of the way, whatever. So, maybe that score don't look as good as what it could have been, but you get development out of guys that you're going to need later on. And a reason why it's important. Ethan Carpenter, starting center fielder. He gets a concussion. He's out for 2 or 3 days this week. If we don't have the opportunity to play a couple of those guys that we played in that game, then you're having to stick a kid out there that's never had any experience in a big game, and that's not a good thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, run roll games are great. You don't get many of them. Walk-off wins are awesome.
You don't get many of them either.
They feel great. You don't get many of them either. A win's a win, though.
It's true. What would you like, more run rule or walk off?
I just like a win.
I'll take that as an answer. Back half, we talked about Alabama basketball. Well, tonight, Friday night, we're recording this. You've got Tennessee basketball. You've got Creighton tonight.
I don't know why you look at me. I don't even watch basketball.
You're a Tennessee fan, though.
I'm a Tennessee fan.
What you think?
I hope they win. Go Vols.
This is also the guy that said that the Grambling State would beat Purdue.
I was gambling on Grambling, and it did not pay off. I owe you $10. Yeah,
Were any of you on the McNeese State bandwagon? Thank goodness.
Is that the Cowboys? Is that the team?
I was the team that played Gonzaga. A lot of people were telling me that I should take them because they were 30-3, and I instantly thought of you because you'll understand this. You look at their non-conference schedule. Things that you have told me before is a lot of teams look well because they don't schedule good teams. They schedule teams like
yeah.
the
No,
Tennessee
I know what
School
you're
for
talking
the
about.
Deaf and the Blind.
Yeah.
And Sister Mary and the rest of the nuns.
They played like an online school and stuff.
They played a school that if you go on ESPN, it's called Biblical Studies.
Yes. They actually
They
It
actually
was-
played teams
It
like
was
that.
one like a Mississippi
University
college
for the
or
women.
something.
Yeah.
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 So when you have those non-conference teams and you're 30-3, sorry, I'm not taking you.
There's high school teams that do that too.
Mhm.
Like
Don't don't do anything I got to edit out.
okay.
We'll leave it at that.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. We try to schedule pretty tough schedule to prepare us a little bit. Could we maybe pick up a couple teams that we could beat pretty badly? Sure, but you don't gain a whole lot from that, in my opinion, other than adding another win, which is great, but if you're not really getting anything out of it, I don't know. I'd rather be 6-5 through 11 the 11 games that we've played than to schedule very weak and be like 9-2 but not feel prepared when it comes up to district play.
I understand that completely.
That's what I tried to do with our schedule this year, I think. Of course, I had Greenville. We got Sevier County, Jeff County, Cosby, who won their district
Cosby's
last
always
year.
a powerhouse in the Region 1 or in
I mean, even
Class
though they're
4,
1A, they're
same
still
way.
a good ball club. But the way I look at it, you want to try to make your non-conference as hard as possible, so when you get district play, it's a little bit easier.
The hard part of that for me is you want to challenge yourself with the non-conference, but you don't want to play somebody that is just going to do you no good to play them. So the game with Unicoi we had, bad score, but I think it was a good game for us because the competition that we faced, the pitcher we faced is the best pitcher we've seen this year. And I think that helped us seeing other guys. They're maybe not quite as good, but if we hadn't seen that kid, then hey, this kid looks great, and we're not touching him. You get a little bit of confidence off of getting a hit off this kid. Now this kid don't look as good. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't do us much good to go play Farragut. Like you want to challenge yourselves and play a really good team,
But not that good of a team, really.
not somebody that's completely out of your realm. That makes
Yeah.
it's pretty hard scheduling sometimes. It really is. Some people just think you just say, well, let's
All
just
around
put this
and get it,
team
yeah.
in, whatever. But there's a lot of thought that goes into it.
I'm glad I don't have to do any of that. I feel like that would be a really big
You know
headache.
what's super frustrating too?
What's that? Don't do anything I got to edit out.
People start trying to schedule during the week of the district tournament. Every year, coaches from around the whole area, and I assume probably the whole state, why can we not wait until the summer to do that? Why are we trying to do that during
I feel
the
like
middle
that should be mandatory.
of
You
the
got to wait
tournament?
until after the state tournaments the last week of May.
Every year,
I feel like that should
it's
be
sometime during
mandatory.
that last week. There's usually like a day before the district tournament starts everywhere. Somebody starts it. I don't know who it is, but whoever starts it, they should just be like suspended the rest of the year.
I know we done our conference schedule in August. And then, of course, we got to wait. So we don't do like baseball, play Monday, Tuesday. It just depends on when we can schedule it. And then, of course, you schedule other couple games before then. But I think it makes it a little bit easier to schedule after you get your conference schedule in. Then you know what date you need to put where and all that. But
We always set our conference schedule first because those Mondays, Tuesdays are blocked off for everybody. Everybody across the state does the same thing. But the non-conference it's who probably starts it?
Who?
Jason Lowe.
I was going to say that.
I'm gonna blame it on him.
All right.
He's juicing the schedules.
Maybe that's what he's trying to do. No, he usually waits till about July to try to schedule. So. And
So
then
he does
and then
well,
I end
though.
up having to go host him here week one because he ain't got nothing.
How many years in a row has it been that you've hosted him?
I don't even know. Wily old veteran over there. That's what he calls himself. So. He thinks he's slick.
We'll wrap it up with that unless there's anything else either of you two want to share.
Oh, we've been going for a long time.
We have.
It's a long show here.
That's all we've got, Coach. I appreciate you, Coach. I appreciate you. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Malone Record Service Haun and Sauce Show. Look forward to seeing y'all next time here on Grassroots Media.
Thank you.